As many of you seen in the community post or via email or in the Slack channel, there is currently a build with challenge going on. In this year, it's build with Creator Studio. So I'm here with Martin and Jerry, and of course myself, and we're going to take you through our process after we've solved the post, what went through our heads, and how are we going to approach this. So maybe you can start introducing yourself, Jerry.
Hi everyone. Yeah, so I'm Jerry. I'm obviously a product owner working at University of Birmingham. So I've had about 7 years working with the ServiceNow platform as a customer, very much in looking after the platform, working with our developers. And I'm really kind of excited about this topic that we're talking about, building with Creator Studio. I think this gives a good opportunity for some of the business owners or the process owners looking at how we can utilize low code. So, taking away that pressure from our developers. So in our usual kind of way for enhancements or people want to have forms to be created, normally comes to our product team for our developers to develop. Let's have this opportunity to take this burden away from the pressure from our developers and having the more of a citizen developers having to create their own apps as well. Okay, and over to Martin.
Yeah, thank you, Willem. So, and Jerry for the introduction. Again, Martin Ivanov here. My name is, as I said, Martin. Oh, so can we cut that one? Sorry. Anyway,
That's fine. We'll cut.
Martin
Yep.
Ivanov here. Yeah, thank you guys for the introductions. It's Martin here. I have over 7 years of experience with the Now platform, currently working as a solution architect with the Do It Twice, which will soon be an Inetum company. And before that, I was working for a customer and for another implementation partner as well. Talking about the build with the build with challenge. This year it's a good continuation. Last year's we had the build with RPA. Before that, we had built with App Engine Studio, if I remember correctly. But I
Yep.
was expecting that time of the year because usually the excitement around the ServiceNow platform and the new release is growing significantly when the build with challenge is on, and it's usually happening at that time in the fall. So happy to see and curious to see what people are going to build on the Now platform, which will again prove the unlimited possibilities that it has.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. I'm Willem Zeiler, a ServiceNow architect at Platformation. I have not joined the, I did join the RPA challenge last year indeed. And especially the one with the App Engine Studio, that was really a cool one, where I approached it from an architecture perspective. So I also posted the models, the designs that we made for the app, and it really allows for building that out further. And for RPA, I went just in developer mode, so clicking around, seeing the uh, different interface than I was used to. So it's a nice experience, and this is also a Creator Studio, quite fresh. So an interesting challenge. And what I also like about these challenges, it brings people together. If you look at the three of us, we're talking about the challenge, and I also reached out to some colleagues of mine that are also friends outside of work that now work for different partners like EY, Ernst& Young, for DXC, um, different companies, and we decided to build an app together just in the evening hours to see what we can come up with. So maybe starting with you, Jerry. You mentioned that this opens up uh, to a broader audience, maybe not per se developers or architects. Do you have an idea if you want to work on it solo, or if you want to team up, what personas do you think you want to team up with?
I think this gives a opportunities for I think personas, people in the business, such as like process owners or even business analysts. I think also a way to build and develop a proof of concept. So even more of like a prototype of, again, what these forms could look like. Work with the business stakeholders, really kind of understand. Right, here's what the form could look like. Here's what the playbook could look like as well. Start developing some of those processes. I think it's one of the benefits with Creator Studio. It's very, I would say, no code, and it's very, again, very simplified, a wizard approach. So if I maybe very similar to things like Power Automate or creating Microsoft Forms. So it's, again, people that may have not got development or developer experience, but able to, again, if there's some training or some knowledge, that they be able to, just basically create a simple form. So I think with Creator Studio, I think the target audience for that is for people to create simple apps. Targets for people like process owners, business analysts, people that really kind of want to get involved in just creating the app. So it, again, we normally tend to submit an enhancement request to our development team. They will have to add that to the backlog, have conversations around requirements. So if we could cut all the middle part of that down, and they are actually able just to work on it because they've got the requirements in their head, they understand what that process looks like, and once they've created a simple app, they can then iteratively develop that going forward, having communication with those stakeholders.
Yeah, it might be interesting also, because you make valid points for the low code and no code. But I also know Martin is very well known for his technical articles, his insight and the depth of his knowledge, as I would say, when it comes to pro development. So Martin, what's your approach in this Build with Creator Studio challenge?
Of course, as you mentioned, I'm usually trying to go outside the box and think about something which not a lot of people will do. In this case, because you mentioned the process of ideation, uh, as you know, the best things are done by chance. This will happen with my application. It was 7 in the morning. I was having my coffee and I was browsing on the notifications on my phone, and I saw the notification about the Build with Creator Studio. And right after it was the notification from my smart dishwashing machine, which says the program has completed. And I said to myself, why not integrate ServiceNow with my dishwasher, just to get some data about electricity consumption and the detergent consumption and all that stuff, just to I don't know, it's not a real business case, but it's something that not a lot of people will do. This will, on the one side, give me some practice with the ServiceNow platform again, with the dashboards and all that stuff, because I'm planning to develop dashboards. On the other hand, I will see the possibilities of the APIs in my case, I don't know if it's fair to mention, but it's Bosch, and their platform for smart devices is called um, Open Connect or something like that. I'm curious to explore what kind of APIs have they exposed, what can be done with these, can I interact with the machine, or I can just pull the data and all that stuff. It is just in my head for now. I have not started because I don't know if you're aware. I have a baby which is 1 month old, and the second kid is basically consuming all of my time.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I promise that I'll complete the challenge and I will share the results publicly. What about you, Willem? You said that you are going to team up with some friends. How is the ideation process going in such a gathering? Are you throwing some ideas on the Trello or brainstorming or getting together? How is it going?
Yeah, what we did the last time, and probably a good foundation for this time, is just meet up at some of our offices. So our bosses also know that we like to spend evening hours digging into ServiceNow and building cool things. So many times either I go to Amsterdam, to the EY office, or in this case, Maarten comes to the Utrecht office to Platformation. We make sure that we have a room with a big whiteboard. And Martin, as a ServiceNow architect, you probably know the value of whiteboards and a lot of markers. So we start drawing stuff. And last time we, with the App Engine Studio, and that's why that's still in my memory, we built an app that pairs volunteers with, I think we called them refugees,
Yeah.
or at least people that are in need. And why I like it so much is because it connected so much. We had that idea back then. It connects with the project I was involved during the hackathon during Knowledge this year, where they paired up mentors with developers. So of course, different use case, but connecting people. I think the ServiceNow platform lends itself very well for that. So I'm not sure if we will continue that same app or that we get new ideas, but I think it starts again with that big whiteboard. And Martin,
Yeah.
maybe also want to respond a bit on the app that you're working, because I think it's a really cool idea. And Jerry, feel free to also join in. But I think
Yeah.
it brings together a topic that I'm expecting to be bigger than it is now, right? Of course, everything is AI. The Xanadu release, over 350 AI innovations they announced, which is nice. But I think the Internet of Things, connected devices, smart devices, has been sort of lingering in that technology hype cycle for a while. And I see also from our customers that more and more integrating that with the platform is also need. So I think that's also the power of this build with challenges, right? A lot of times with App Engine Studio, now with the Creator Studio, it starts with just fun experimentation. And I'm almost certain that a few years from now, Martin, you will look back at this and see, hey, now I'm doing this for the customer, but I did this already a few years back in the build
Yeah.
with challenge.
You touched on a very valid point here. A few years back when the IoT was a hot topic, when it became a hot topic, everyone was excited. Of course, it has its applications in the industry, but also we have a lot of smart devices in our homes. And being nerds, let's say, outside of the business hours, we can use the insights that we gather in a single platform to think about the energy consumptions that we have at home, and maybe supplies and all that stuff, and find a way to optimize it. And then, of course, we can scale it on a bigger environment, like a customer environment. Of course, there is a prerequisite here. The devices there needs to be IoT enabled, but I think in the era that we live in, most of them already are so. And if they are not, I believe that
Hmm.
companies are willing to invest a little bit in such devices just to have them enabled, because this will, of course, bring some savings in the future, and the payback period will be not that big. And
Yeah.
on the other point that you touched with the whiteboard, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm in a new office, in a new environment. I reconstructed a small room that we have here on the third floor, and I'm considering to have a big whiteboard on the whole wall, let's say, here on the right side of me. It's still idea in development. I'm trying to find the good whiteboard, which is not crazily expensive, but yeah,
Hmm.
the value is undoubted.
Yeah. Hey, and maybe to bring it back to Jerry, yeah, because I think it's a nice balance to have you here as well to think on the low code no code side. And Martin, I think, brings it back all the way to the technical side with connected
Yep.
devices. Is that also something you think the business would want to experiment with, or are they maybe a bit reluctant to try connected devices. I think it becomes easier with the APIs, but still a lot of it might require some coding knowledge. What's your stance on that, Jerry?
I think I think in terms of my understanding with the Creator Studio, I think the target audience and the focus is for whether it's developers, whether it's the business users, really kind of creating those simple apps. And I think with Create Studio, once you've created those simple apps, you can then start to use things like the App Engine Studio to do a bit more complex processes. So I think the idea with Create Studio is more of, here you go, you can just create the app yourself. If you need more complex processes or complex configuration, then I would say probably the developers would need to take that on using App Engine Studio. So if there's any kind of connected devices or Internet of Things again, depending on their business process, whether it does connect to any kind of devices out there that they want to be able to do the monitoring and again, notifications, that I probably would say will need more technical experience or a more subject matter expert in that particular field. But most of some of the ideas that I have thought about of the business users want to just create a simple form, because sometimes they may have an inquiry. Give an example, like, how do I order an IT equipment form? They might have that just coming into their mailbox. So they might have an email box or a form on a website, or even someone just contacting on Microsoft Teams. But we want to have this form created so you've got a consolidated form. It's consistent. It comes into a central repository place where, again, your fulfillers can access that. It's got reporting, and again, I think with Creator Studio, it would obviously have the form, have that on a mobile app as well. So if you got the mobile app, it would be able to have the form on there. So it would build it all together rather than you having to build it separately. And then also, if you got the virtual agent, you could also have that as a conversational topic as well. And I have created something in Creator Studio in the last week or so. So I'm happy to share that with you if that's something that you want to have a look at. But again, it's very, very, I think it took me about 45 minutes to an hour just to develop the app. I think you obviously need to have an idea on what fields you want to be created, what that in terms of the process for the playbook, whether it needs approvals or not approvals, so you can develop that in Creator Studio.
With the help of Now Assist, you can build your approval flow. If it is a complex approval, with multiple stakeholders to approve the request, Now Assist can help you build the flow rather than spending, I don't know, 32 hours just exploring which approval to be triggered after which. And usually it's not easy to with the approvals in the flows, especially when multiple approvals are involved. You usually get looped into a direction that you don't want to. Now with the Now Assist, I believe that it can generate not a complete flow, but like 80% complete, and then you can just provide your inputs and just tune it a little bit, and you'll have it.
Yeah, I love that. Now Assist, the generative AI capabilities that ServiceNow brings. Of course, in Xanadu, there's a lot more. As you mentioned, there's of course text to code that I've been experimenting with. I think the first time we got our hands on it was in January, which is nice. You have the text to catalog builder, or Now Assist for catalog builder, that indeed you can in natural language, just like we're speaking now, ask the Now Assist to help you, assist you in building. So I love the name Creator Studio because it becomes more a creative process. As Martin mentioned, a process might require a lot of approvals. Just thinking about that, and even acknowledge we saw that they draw again on a whiteboard. This is what the process should look like. Please help us create a flow for this. And I think if we do this same challenge next year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, I think many more people can join in, and it goes less complex, more on the creative side. So I think with that, if you haven't signed up or thought about joining the Build with Creator Studio, I would advise everybody just try it. From beginners all the way to the experts, people are happy to help, happy to collaborate. But even if you're a beginner just wanting to build by yourself, try it and share what you have done, what you've built. Even if it's simple, share it, and there's a lot of cool stuff that you can win as well this year, right?
There is also the muck is one thing, of course, the tangible thing, but there is another thing that you, William, touched on. But let's imagine someone who is trying to develop something. It is not happening the first time. It looks for some help on Slack. This help that the person will get may easily become a friendship that will continue throughout the years. This is something that we were chatting before the recording with Jerry and his mentor. Now, right after the mentorship program is over, they are in a good relationship 2 years afterwards. So yeah, this can become a friendship, like the friendship that we have here with Willem and Jerry. So don't think about it. Just start with something, build something, even it's simple. Seek for help and share what you have done.
I also want to just echo that, Martin. Thank you for mentioning that. Obviously the building those relationships, and I think using the power of the community. So within build with Creator Studio within the community as well. Just make use of that resource, because there are so many people out there that's willing to be able to help share their knowledge, and again, having the opportunity to network with, and again, like I said, make those relationships and those connections. And like I said, it's just really wonderful to be able to spend the time with you both as well, and also other people to develop again many of those innovation ideas going forward. And if you get stuck and you feel like, I just don't know where I need to turn to, and you've got at least a group of people that you can turn to get support.
Yeah, thank you both. And for the people that have a Bosch dishwasher, you know who to hook you up.
Stay tuned.